Hello, Team Easy Dating. What's going on? Today's topic, 5 tips to inspire him to commit to you. And we've got my friend and colleague, Matt Schaefer here. Matt, say hi to everybody.
Hi, ladies. So nice to see you.
This is totally against what I said I was going to do. I said I wasn't going to bring on any male dating coaches that were better looking than me. But, Matt, whatever, you're here, buddy. It's good to see you.
It's a tie. It's a tie, or we can be equally good looking.
That's generous. I'll take it. Thank you. So real quick introduction of Matt. Matt is an empowerment, connection, and relationship coach who used to be an attorney and is committed to using his powers for good to help women find love and fulfilling connections with men. He's got an amazing new love course that he is offering for free to all the women in the Easy Dating community. Yes. And so everybody go check the link in the description. I will plop it down there. And just so we can make sure we find it, I will plop it as the top comment on the top. So you can just click and get in on this because we want to hook you up. All right, Maddie. 5 tips to inspire him to commit to you. I love this topic, and I am so excited to learn about this. So get into it. What's number 1, my friend?
Well, the way that I love to think about being in a relationship with a man, and I invite you ladies to think about it, not that many people are out there baking bread anymore, but think of it throughout the process of actually baking bread, right? You go through a sequence of steps, right, in order to bake something that's delicious, in order to bake a loaf of bread. So these steps sort of correlate that process. And the first step is that you need the right ingredients in the right proportion, right? So within the relational container that you're creating with the man, you need to bring the right ingredients into it. And the most important ingredient is the balance of masculine and feminine energy. So really looking at what is your unique balance of masculine and feminine energy, and are you creating polarity with the man that you're connecting with within the relationship, right? Because if you show up in a feminine way and he shows up in his masculine, then you've got that healthy polarity that's so important to creating a fulfilling relationship. So are you bringing the right ingredients? Do you know your love languages? Right? Do you know how you like to express and receive love from your partner? And do you know his? These are super, super important. Do you know your attachment style? What is your attachment style? Are you anxious? Are you secure? Are you avoidant? And do you know his? All the way that all these ingredients come together and kind of like work together is so critical. And we want to be conscious about the ingredients that we're bringing into the container on the way in. So that's the first step, is to know your unique ingredients and know how they're being put into the container with his.
Whoa, that is a lot. Matt, in the next 4, do you explain attachment styles and love languages, or that's number 1
Yes.
and they need to figure that out? Okay.
No. The first step is to have awareness, right? The first step is to have awareness onto what ingredients you have, what ingredients he has, and what are you both bringing into the relational container, which is like the mixing bowl, right? So it's that awareness is first. So if you haven't done, a love languages test or done a test for attachment style, there's like a million of them online, and I highly recommend, you go do a little homework on that, because so many issues that happen in relationship are because people aren't connecting and communicating the same way because they haven't taken the time to do this initial work.
Yes. All right. Since everyone who's watching, I got to help you out. If you want to learn your attachment style or your love language, just send me a comment and I will put some links to take those quizzes. If you want to get that taken care of, I got you. And that is brilliant, Matt. Like, that will certainly change a woman's life in terms of how she interacts with her guy and, of course, bring him closer. Now, what is number 2, my friend?
Well, number 2 is once you've brought your ingredients and his ingredients are together, they need to be what? They need to be mixed properly, right? They need to be mixed properly, and they need to be mixed deeply. So like when you're combining ingredients to form a recipe, like if you're making a loaf of bread, you want to stir everything up deep. So when you're getting to know a man, you don't just want to be on autopilot. You want to be holding your frame with him. And so the frame is it's a term that I use to describe, like, you don't just want to become a doormat to a man as you're getting to know him. You want to have your frame is your understanding of who you are, what your values are, what your opinions are, and you're going to show yourself as high value to men when you hold your frame with him. So if you have, say you have a differing opinion on him about baseball, he loves baseball, and you think baseball is ridiculous, which I kind of think baseball is ridiculous. So like you might want to, like, if he's like, oh yeah, the Mets and blah, 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 and he's talking about how much he loves baseball, you can be like, so what is it about baseball that's so appealing? Is it the fact that they spend 95% of the time just standing around? Or is it the fact that they scratch themselves all the time? Like, what exactly, like teasing a guy about differences between your frame and his frame is a really great way to establish value with him and then just mix things up with him. You don't want to get into that autopilot of the daily report, coming home, and just going through this like routine. Because if a man gets bored, he starts to pull away. He starts to disconnect. So if you want to inspire a man to connect and go deeper with you, be spontaneous, right? Men are looking to be set free by women in relationship. And part of that is like, be that spontaneous sort of interruptive force, because, you know, Mike, like as men, we get caught up in the grind of doing our stuff, doing our work, and just building our, whatever we're building. You know, and so you as a woman can really create a powerful impact on us by interrupting the monotony of the building of our lives, right? And be that fun, playful force to do that for us.
I love that. And I love this example of the Mets, because obviously, like, you know, this isn't the game changer that's going to end relationships, but it's such an easy example to understand. I got a question for you. I got to play devil's advocate. What happens if the woman just keeps her mouth shut and never stands up for herself, never brings up, like, for example, that she hates the Mets and hates baseball? What happens in that scenario?
Well, what's interesting is that a lot of times if a man doesn't feel like a woman is ever challenging him, a man can get bored, you know? So especially if she doesn't tell him, hey, I don't like baseball, or he doesn't call her out on that, and she just doormats to him and does what I call collapsing her frame into his frame and just agrees with everything that he likes and everything that he's into, like, it actually devalues her to him. You know, like a man really wants to feel that challenge and that pushback from a woman that he's dating. It's not like you're going to make him mad by teasing him about the differences between the two of you. It's actually going to like elevate you in his eyes, truly. And so like, women get so afraid of, like, you know, being too masculine or of being too aggressive with a guy. And at least in my own relationships and with all my clients that I work with, I tell them, like, you want to challenge him in a playful, feminine way. Like, don't be masculine about it, but also don't be afraid to sort of like take it to him a little bit. Because a really important concept here is that all men are little boys. All men are little boys at one level, at a deep, deep, deep level. And it's so important for you to be willing to play with him and go back and forth with him like a couple of kids. And that's really going to help get him out of the heaviness of his life and get him into a light, playful space with you.
Yes. I love that. That's so beautiful. And it, you know, when you do get a man to go to his boy side, I mean, he can be happy. He can be smile. He's not worrying about the stress of work. And that's when he feels free. And when he feels free with you, that's a partner he wants to commit and stay with forever. So I love that. And that is spot on. Sorry, you have something to say.
Exactly. Well, yeah. And, you know, and another part of mixing it up in terms of being playful is to mix it up with him by really speaking to him through his love languages and in reference and automation to his attachment style. And, you know, we actually cover a lot of this. We cover a lot of this in the course. In Mastery of Connection, we have a great attachment style test that I've sort of customized and created. I should have mentioned that in the last section, but yeah, we go through attachment style. We go through love languages and we go through your personality quadrants. So we do a whole section, and then I talk about how all of the different love languages and attachment styles interrelate with each other. So there'll be exercises and opportunities for you to work through that, because that's how we mix things up, is we connect with each other where we're at, right? And go deeper, because we got to go deep. If we don't go deep with each other, relationship's not going to expand. We got to be willing to do that.
Yes, I love it. All right, Matt, what is number 3, my friend?
So number 3 is super important. Number 3 is like once you have all the ingredients, right, for a loaf of bread, and you mix them up that like nice and deep, and you got everything sort of like intermingled together, then what do you got to do? You got to put it in the oven and you got to turn up the heat. Right? So that's what step 3 is. Step 3 is you want to make him feel the heat of your passion. I talk about this a lot because I'm one of those few guys out there that does, like, I do physical stuff and sexual stuff on my channel in a an authentic and genuine way. And I say often that men care a lot less about how good you are at a lot of aspects of physical relationship. It's not so much about what you know, it's about whether or not you enjoy doing it, right? So a man wants to feel that you enjoy making him feel good, that you genuinely are passionately interested in him, right? You want him in a very visceral way. That's what's really going to make a man really turn him on and make him really engage with you on a deeper level. So make him feel the heat of your passion, the heat of your curiosity, like really want to get to know him better. Ask him deep questions, ask him powerful questions. And if you can do that and be that sort of passionate, hot force in his life, like that's how you're really going to help him start to get more engaged and start to do the next step, which is also very important.
Ooh, I like that. And it's so spot on. Like, especially, as men, as we get older, our bodies start to change, and we stop feeling as attractive as we used to, just like, maybe some women stop feeling as attractive. But then when the opposite sex, when our partner, makes us feel like, wow, we're still attractive, and wow, my partner's still into this, we light up. And it's like, this is the partner I want to be with. And as a man, I will tell you this, Matt, you were freaking spot on. When a woman is like into what's happening here, hard as it is to believe, like that is amazing. And like, I'm really into it. So spot on. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you touching him? How are you kissing him? Are you can he tell, can he feel that you are hungry for him without you having to say anything to him? Like, so look at the energy you're bringing into the bedroom, that you're bringing into kissing, that you're bringing into touching him, and ask yourself, is he able to feel the heat from me? Right? Without me having to tell him that I want him. That's like what you really get to look at as far as, dialing up the heat in the relationship.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's keep going. What is number 4?
So number 4, and so think about this, right? So you've got all the right ingredients in the container, you've mixed everything up nice and deep, and you've got that great commingling going on. Now you've turned up the heat, so the baking process has begun. What's the next step? You gotta give some space and allow that bread to rise. And just like that, you want to give a man space to rise up into his masculinity, to rise up to meet you, right? And this is so important. And this is a step where a lot of women kind of get off track, because women think they need to be on their man at all times, right? And that is not always the case, right? Because that's the thing. You want a man who has a purpose greater than just you. You want a man who's striving to create something in his life. And every man who's living from his deepest sense of masculine identity, he does have a mission. He does have a quest. He is trying to create big things in the world. And one of the greatest ways you can turn him on and make him super loyal to you is by stepping back and allowing him to honor that and trusting that he's going to, have you along for the journey as a partner. Right? A partner doesn't need to be always, all up on a guy all the time, right? If you feel like you always have to be like connected to him all the time, you're demonstrating insecurity, right? Part of trusting a man and loving a man at a deeper level is giving him some space and allowing him to just be who he is and trusting that you're going to be able to keep that connection going. So it's very important that you give a man space to rise, invite him forward, right? Trust it, like invite him to plan the dates. Give him the space to step in and be the guy. Because if you don't, it's going to emasculate him and it's actually going to cause him to check out. Like if you put that down a pan on top of a pan with bread in it, you put something on top of it, that bread's not going to be able to rise. It's not going to happen. Same thing with a guy. Give him space in a loving, inviting way.
Yes. That's so beautiful. And I just want to talk about an advanced aspect of this, because men mess this up and they don't realize they're messing up. So what men will do sometimes is when they're courting you and ask you on dates is they'll be like, so where do you think we should go? Or what do you want to do? That's him not realizing that he needs to be in charge. So you just need to ping that ball right back over to his side of the net and say, you know, you'd be so sexy, or it'd be so amazing if you'd pick the spot we're going to, or if you'd pick the date, or like, if you want to help him a little bit, like, oh, you know what? I like Italian food. All right, so you pinged it back over. I like Italian food. Now he's going to go find the restaurant. So then when you're on the date and it's like, this pasta's amazing. Like, thank you so much for taking me. He gets his words of affirmation. He gets his compliment. And now he feels good and he can take credit for, picking the restaurant in his masculine energy. You get to be feminine, just, receiving. Does that make sense, Matt?
Oh, 100%, man. And yeah, that's exactly, so many men, they become so whatever you want, honey, whatever you want, honey, whatever you want, honey, not realizing that in doing that, they are emasculating themselves and they're forcing this woman to step into her masculine energy, which is exhausting for her because, oftentimes when she's with a man, when she's in relationship, she wants to relax and just submit and allow that man to be the driving force. So, but one of the most important things you as a woman can do is throw him the ball. Invite him to take the initiative, right? I like to say, be the conductor. Be the conductor for him. A conductor doesn't, like the conductor of a symphony doesn't go down into the orchestra and like force like the musicians to play the instrument. She uses her gestures and her invitation to guide his action. So guide him into taking action and then acknowledge him when he does. Just like you said, Mike, let him know, oh my God, I love this restaurant. It's so sexy that you planned this date. I love how you touched me like that. Like, give him that acknowledgement. Men love to be acknowledged for what they've done. We are always looking for that acknowledgement from women in our lives. So even over little silly things like putting the toilet seat down or cleaning a gutter, I mean, seriously, just any opportunity you have to acknowledge a man for his actions that he's taken, you're going to reinforce his desire to do more of that, right? So you want to create this positive reinforcement loop where he's doing the things right, and you're going to be reinforcing him for doing that.
Yes. Brilliant. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about number 5. What do we got?
Number 5. So number 5 is, so you've done all this stuff right. Like, you've got the ingredients, you've mixed them, you've turned up the heat, given it the passion, and then you've given it space to rise. And now you've got this bread, right? You've got this man, you've got this connection, you've got this relationship. And when you have a loaf of bread, this is something we need to think about. It's going to be kind of hard on the outside and then soft on the inside, right? And just like that, men a lot of times have walls. We tend to have this hard exterior that we've built up around our hearts, around our vulnerability, because we've been conditioned to believe that vulnerability is weakness, that vulnerability is a liability, right? So this is a very important point, ladies, is that as you're building relationship with a man, you need to understand that it might be challenging for him to put his walls down, and it's going to take time and patience to really encourage him and invite him to do that. But just recognize that once you get past those walls, we are craving emotional connection. We are craving the opportunity to be vulnerable in relationship, because a lot of times we can't be vulnerable with our guy friends. We can't be emotional with people that we work with. We are feeling very emotionally isolated as men in our lives. And the only opportunity we have to be emotionally vulnerable is in relationship. So if you can practice these steps and be patient and continue to make this loving invitation for men to be emotionally vulnerable with you, then he's going to over time recognize that you are a safe space to be vulnerable with him. Right. But you need to not try to force him. Don't try to force him to be like, just tell me how you feel. Like don't, because if you try to force a guy to be vulnerable with you, you're in your masculine, and that's just going to cause him to shut down and put his walls up even more. But if you're able to soften, and one of the greatest ways you can encourage a man to be vulnerable and emotionally open with you is by leading by example. So by you being emotionally emotive to him, telling him how you're feeling, right? And then asking him gently how he feels, giving him an opportunity to put words on his feelings. You're going to start inviting him to do that, right? Because a lot of times we don't have a lot of experience as men talking about our feelings. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Like most men don't, because we don't do it on a regular basis. It's not like we go out with our buddies like, man, I'm feeling pretty stressed out about things at work. Guys don't do that, unless they're in the work like we are. So give men, again, like just how you threw him the ball on planning dates, throw him the ball about his feelings and start inviting him and giving him opportunities in a safe, non-demanding, non-masculine, very feminine way to start talking about his feelings. And that's how you're going to get past that crust into that soft, warm, doughy love that he has in his heart.
Oh, I'm like blown away. I mean, obviously, if we bake the bread, we're going to get the guy who's going to commit. This is 100% clear. And so we just did this video for you. And then Matt is just this hardworking guy that is giving away this free course for you now that is just, there's so much content and such high quality stuff, and it's all free. So I encourage all of you to go get your hands on this thing. Once again, I'll plop it in the description. I'll put it as the top comment.
Absolutely. Can I tell them a little bit about it?
Yeah. Tell them.
Yeah, let me tell them. So ladies, it's called Mastery of Connection. It is a month-long, incredibly powerful, transformational relationship course. So the whole course is designed to help you understand how you connect with others and yourself in a more meaningful and deeper way. So we go through your beliefs, we go through your love languages, your attachment style, your personality, and really help you understand how you connect with other people in a deeper way so that you can do it more effectively in your life. And we create a vision for your relationships and for your life. And you get this incredible community of women. We've got over 1,000 women signed up already, and we're probably going to have 2,000 by the time the course launches on November 18th. So I am offering it for free for Mike's community here, for all of you incredible ladies here in the Easy Dating community. So sign up at Mike's link. The course starts November 18th. So we're going to be opening the doors, and a lot of women, women from all over the world had incredible transformations back in July when I did it last time. So I'm really excited to begin this journey. You're going to love it.
Yes, let's go. And
you get live coaching with me twice a week. I do live group coaching in the group. So
yeah, what Matt doesn't know is we joke about him behind his back that he is insane for how much free stuff he gives to his people. And we're like, man, this guy is a hard worker. So I don't have the luxury of being able to be amazing like Matt like this. So I wanted to get him on here so you could have access to some live coaching for free, which is freaking insane. But it's pretty awesome. So that's why you're here, man, because you're awesome. The amount of work you're giving away for free is amazing. So I wanted people to get their hands on that because, it's just incredible. So thank you so much. I love your content. You're fabulous. And everyone else, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, we're going to have new content every single Tuesday. And Matt, thanks again, my friend. And everyone, we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, ladies. I'll see you over at Mastery of Connection starting November 18th. Have a great day.
Bye.